All right, welcome everyone. This is the Community Solidarity Response Network. This is our weekly video minutes or our weekly podcast where we come and talk about some of the things that we're doing this week, some of the things, Jody, we did last week, and some of the things that got coming up soon. You know what we want to do before we do anything else, we want to put our 5-minute timer up, maybe to give everybody an opportunity to join in, click on, because we got some phenomenal. Hey, it's National Women's Month.
Yes,
and
it
hey,
is.
we got
final week.
all
5
right.
weeks.
That's right. So we got something special for you today. So Jody, let's put that 5-minute timer on. All right, we are back. We're back. This is the Community Solidarity Response Network. This is our weekly podcast where we come to you live from the compound, Jody. We're talking about some of the things that we've done last week, the things that we've got going on right now, which is National Women's Month. And every week, I think we have 5 Tuesdays in this. All right.
This has been a 5-week month.
Right. We've had 5 Tuesdays where we're highlighting our phenomenal sisters in our community. And this week is going to be unlike any other week, whereas we bring some dynamic sisters to talk about their journey, who they are, and why they should be on your radar. First, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronoun he and him. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Jabril Bay and Mike Leonardi. 7 years ago, they had this idea that ordinary people can come together and plan and speak truth to power. 7 years ago, Jody, and who we are continuing to organize during the pandemic. I don't know if we call this post pandemic or whatever it is, we out in the streets. All right. Today I have on my brown glasses. I've got on a white dress shirt with kind of for those who may be visually challenged, I've got on a white dress shirt buttoned up to the top. I've got an Argyle square sweater. So it looks like I'm either just coming from work or on my way, but it is what it is. And also, I'm dedicated to respecting and protecting and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And this is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And it's been definitely a awesome journey to be able to organize with some of the best protesters, some of the best advocates, and man, some of the best activists that I've met in recent times. So I think that does it for me, Jody. If you could introduce yourself, what you have on the mission statement, and we can get going because we want to get back. We've got Anita Madison. We've got a breakdown of the slap. We got everything. I know. Hey, we might as well go in today. All right. Yeah. So who are you? What do you have on?
What's up, everybody? I'm Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization and a whole bunch of other stuff. Those names aren't just pseudonyms or anything. They're kind of how I keep things organized and balanced within my life between being an entertainer, author, filmmaker, chef, entrepreneur, elected official, activist, anarchist, and just kind of ear to listen to for a lot of people. But I am, for those of you that are listening versus watching, I am a big cinnamon tone brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and things from as I travel around based on my talent, based on something I did not know I had 7 years ago, because last week was 7 years for me as an artist. 7 years being independent and not taking nothing from no one, because kind of here to give.
That's right.
But my pronouns would be him, he, or we. The we, again, would go with all the pseudonyms. So that's how I stay balanced and don't take poetry with me to the well, actually I do. Okay.
All right. Watch out. Watch out.
Don't take the heavy metal band or the rave party to the church room, because I'm in between all of those. But
I appreciate that. All right.
So,
but it could be a decent distraction too. All right.
True.
Since we're into that.
If you stare at me long enough, you can see some of the trails and lines of my life. But either way, it's me. I'm not changing mask or personalities to walk into a room. I'm just, maybe toning it down, not giving all information, but I am always me. So, with that said, again, it's last week of Women's History Month, and I hope that you found someone to appreciate. because yes, it's celebration and in government politics and all that stuff, but it's also a chance to appreciate somebody while they're alive. It's a chance to celebrate something while you have 30, 40 summers left, because I mean, really 100 isn't a long time at all. It's like, and it's gone. And that's maybe if you do everything perfectly. So I think a lot of people need to stop criticizing and celebrating more before that's all they have is criticism.
Oh, okay. And in family, this is live. So if there's some issues with our sound, and I think that we might have some echoing going on, we
Maybe a
might.
little bit. I'm not sure. It's not coming up on what is it? Everything has closed caption nowadays. So
Yeah.
I'm also looking at a little tiny monitor through my phone down here. So
All right, we'll check it out.
yep, we'll check it out. If you hear anything in the chat, good evening, Georgia. Just let us know. Like if you get some reverb or you can't hear everything we're saying, because again, every episode we're trying to, I guess,
Perfected.
yeah, perfect it, modernize what we
Yeah.
used to do in the streets in small rooms. And again, COVID happened. You couldn't meet people in small rooms. So we've expanded to this version, but not to be fluff or filler or just talking about the smack, because we are going to talk about the smack because it's still in the
Yeah.
vintage of our skin. Let's say that vintage of our skin, even though that doesn't make no sense at all. But
And it's on my phone right now. All right.
It was on my phone as soon as I got done performing last night.
All right.
But besides that, for the organizational structure of this, because it's good to have laughs and fun, but if that's all you're doing, you get no work done. This is how we have stayed consistent over 7 years, and probably 7 years. I hope so.
What?
All
All right.
7.
Hey,
That's
all right.
49.
Bring
49. It. But anyway, if you are starting an organization, a nonprofit, or business, this is kind of like the foundation that holds you together. So no matter what sponsors come, no matter what people may not like you or do like you, family don't support you, because that's always the people who are going to see you because they grew up with you and don't understand how you're doing something different from them.
Right.
So this is your foundation, or build your own. Build your own.
Hey.
We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community based events to help foster self development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice equally applied to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right. Thank you, Jody. And what I'm going to recite now are our guiding principles. Whenever grassroots organizations form, we need to have something that keeps everyone together so that we don't implode. And these are our guiding principles. I'll begin. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Listen, family, those are our guiding principles. And before we get to our short break, and we're going to come back with our sister, Anita Madison. We're trying to find that clip that we had. I guess it's right there. All right. Hey, before we start, I'd like to give our Kwanzaa word of the day is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. And that means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our own and solve them together. So even though Kwanzaa is from the 26th to the 1st, we still recognize that these principles we hold near and dear, and we strive to practice them 365. So hang tough. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We will be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. This program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it, we have to breathe it, we have to do it, we have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
Shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
Membership is the lifeblood of the association and is the guiding force of the Toledo branch. We cannot achieve our mission without it. Your NAACP membership is more than a contribution. You are joining the team that has been in the forefront of the civil and human rights battle for more than 100 years. And I invite you to please join the NAACP and become an active member. You may join online at www.naacptoledo.org. You may also download the form, print, fill it out, and then send it back to us at NAACP Toledo Branch, P.O. Box 9388, Toledo, Ohio 43697.
All right, we are back. I hope you had enough time to get the address and everything that we left it up there just a few seconds, Jody. All right, so that people could jot that down. And if you couldn't jot it down, we're gonna
we got the best person to tell you more about it.
Oh, that's a good segue. So let's bring our sister up. This is our sister, Anita Madison. How you doing, sister?
Hey. How you guys doing?
All right. That was a dynamic clip that those who see this can go back, check out the information, join the NAACP. It's an awesome thing to be a part of a collective effort. We just can't continue staying on the sidelines and complaining. Be a part of something in the NAACP, just for people to know that our local NAACP Toledo branch, it's branch, Jody, it's branch, all right, has backed us on this journey since we've started, regardless if it was the Black Lives Matter Awards, the scholarship, Juneteenth, when people weren't doing Juneteenth. Anita Madison, she was the first person I called. Hey, listen, who do you have on the force that's really getting it in the community? And I think we got Marquita. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. So just and also, We should be letting her talk, shouldn't we?
I'm waiting.
All right.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all sound awesome.
I just want to. Sometime you got to clear the air,
Yeah,
because you just
gotta let people
have
know
you
that-
just have to. So anybody that enjoyed the Pan African flag being raised at Government Center may have no idea without the NAACP. That would have been a difficult thing to do.
Yep.
And just letting people go ahead.
I could say without the NAACP as an organization in a whole, we would be a difficult thing to do because we stand on the shoulders of their giantness. If there wasn't them in the civil rights era, there would be no us.
Oh, okay. So we need to say that next time we hit them up for a donation. All right. So hey, listen, family. So in case you didn't know, this is our sister Anita Madison. If you can, I already said your name. If you could introduce yourself, who you are, what relationship do you have with the NAACP, and what are some of the things that you see happening in our community that you think everyone needs to know?
All right. First, thank you guys for having me on. It's an honor to be a part of this Women's History Month. I count it all joy to even be thought of in this space. And so, for those that don't know me, I'm Anita Madison, and I serve on the executive board of the NAACP Toledo branch. I am the criminal justice chair in particular, and I'm also a part of our communications team. And so, what do I think people should know about in our community? I think the most important thing that we can do in our community is to get behind being united and try to work together in spaces where we can work together. There are a lot of issues in our community that we have to deal with. It is involves people with personal issues, and then it involves issues that are citywide
Right.
and sometimes even statewide. And so we have our hands full. The fight, you will hear us say all the time, the struggle continues. And so that's a little bit of what I do for the NAACP.
All right. Now, my next question is, why do you even want to help? Because you could easily be on the couch. All right. You could easily be on your phone scrolling, making a comment. What makes you want to get involved so that people can see you? What was it that made you want to be involved?
Brother Washington, full disclosure, and probably most people know, I'm a retired police sergeant with the Toledo Police Department, and I was not an ordinary police officer. My passion has always been around serving the community, and not just as a buzzword, but actually serving the community. And some of the things that I was able to do while I was on the police department, trickled into my retirement. And so it has to do with passion. What you have passion for, you do it without thought. You wake up doing it. You lay down thinking about what you're going to be doing tomorrow. And so it's really the passion. If the NAACP is just the vehicle in which I can get a lot of these things done, but I get it done through the African American Police League. I get it done through our ministry. I get it done through the boards that I serve on. And so it's just a passion for me to, I've always been a person that when I see a need, I try to address it. And it's usually a space where you don't have to be fighting a whole lot of people to work in, because ain't nobody working in it.
That's
And
right.
so that's kind of my driving force behind why I do what I do now. To be honest, some weeks I quit and I come home wounded and say I ain't going back out there no more. I quit, and then the next morning I'm back at it again. So it's a blessing, really, to be able to serve.
You know, when we say we quit, we call that self-care.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
When we say we quit,
Yes.
and we sometimes we quit every day. All right, because this is what you call an unfunded initiative. However, people treat us like this is our job.
Yeah.
Where y'all at? I thought you hold on. What you mean? Where we at? All right. Where the clock that we punch in. So knowing that you like you say, you have um a lot of things that you do. And one of the things that I really respect out of those who were in service but now retired, that now you volunteer and you bring decades of skill, technique, and information to the fight. And I think those are the types of things that are invaluable. So I really appreciate that. I think one of my first interactions with you, I think it was with the STARS program, and how you were advocating for our youth.
Yes.
And that's when, because I think that sometimes I might look at law enforcement often and just put somebody in the box, Jody. All right. And however, I think at that time I worked with SET, and I wanted to hear, what does the Toledo Police even have to do with youth? And we had a meeting. I think it was on Cherry Street,
Yep.
and you were presenting, and I was listening to some things in your voice to indicate that you don't care, and I didn't hear that. So I've been a fan for a minute. All right. And there are people that case manage us just to see if we're authentic about this, and I really appreciate that. So my next question to you, I'm checking out the time, and I know that we have limited amount of time, and I wanted to get the most out of this, engagement as we could. You talk, we talk about self-care. All right, what is it that you do to reset, to rebalance? What are some of the things that you do so that some of the people that are watching this podcast that would like to be involved in any type of way, what are some of the things that you do to reset so that you can unquit?
Okay.
As you
I
do?
was waiting for you to say it. I was going to say it if you didn't.
Right.
So, a lot has to do with the ministry that I'm a part of. And I do a daily reset, really.
Beautiful.
um, I have my morning meditation where I pray. I have my morning affirmations where I try to speak. I don't try, I speak
That's right.
things into existence, positive interactions and positive outcomes into existence. I do that on a daily basis. And so it's just, sort of my maintenance plan. But it's nothing is wrong with just not coming out for a week, going and getting a pedicure, going getting a massage, going away on uh, to
Vacation.
another location, going on vacation, enjoying family. There has to be a balance in this work, because if you don't, you'll find yourself burnout. And I always say, if you don't care for yourself, there is no way that you can care for others. And so, I have to pay close attention to my health, and make sure that I'm eating properly and making sure that I'm engaging in those things that are um, good for the good for the body. And so that's kind of what I do for self-care. A lot has to do with my prayer life. Um, I pray all the time. I pray coming and I pray going, because I try to carry myself in a way that people are receptive to what I'm trying to do or the information that I'm trying to share. And so that's really how I, you mentioned I volunteer. I also have also run an LLC. I have a business that I operate as well. And a lot of people don't know about the business I run because I don't advertise. When opportunities arise that I can help, I often help with the skills, and it opens doors for other opportunities. And so um, it's this work is something that, and when I say this work, I'm talking about what you were talking about at the onset of the podcast, We in These Streets. And that's what I spend a lot of time doing, out engaging people. We can sit around tables all day, and whether it's the NAACP or whether it's CSRN, and sit around and talk all day about plans. But until we actually get out and engage people and engage the community, it's going to be all for now. So that's kind of how I do my self care.
All right. One of our last questions, and thank you, and once again for anyone that's viewing this podcast, um, you you're getting some, man. You don't have to start at square one. We're telling you how to organize. We have our sister here talking to you about self care because definitely you might get what they call compassion fatigue,
Yeah.
burnout,
Yep.
activist fatigue, that you think that everything is supposed to change just because Brother Washington show up. All right. You're in for a rude awakening because that doesn't happen. And you do have to take some time out, to regroup. Our last question for you is, it's National Women's Month, and in reality, it's Women's Month and Mother's Day every day because you are the mother of creation. All right. You are the mother of civilization. Before you, we weren't here. After you, we won't be here. All right. And a nation rise no higher than its woman. And for some of us, we believe that were it not for God Himself, the only thing worth worshiping would be you. So having said that, what is it for you about being a woman, and particularly a Black woman, that's so satisfying and dynamic? What would you say to that question for our audience, sister?
I think being a woman, or for me, being a woman is the fact that we have a unique set of skills in, uh, how can I say it? Women they are soldiers.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um, they are there when nobody else is left standing. And oftentimes I see it in the church where if it were not
Preach,
for the
man.
women,
Mm.
nothing would get done. Now that's not to disrespect any of our hardworking brothers,
But it's a
but I
fact.
tell you, it's a fact. And when we are, even in the NAACP, the vast majority of our board members are women. Why? Because really, men know in order to get stuff done, you got to have a strong woman in your corner
That's right.
to get things done. And that's, one of the characteristics of a strong woman is that we get things done. If you want something done and you want it done right, you're going to have a woman at the table. You better have a woman at the table.
That's right.
You better have a woman at the table. I think about the confirmation hearings of Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Teach.
And her stamina in dealing and confronting ignorance was a proud moment for me, because, and I know y'all gonna talk about the slap. I'm just saying, she, at first I said restraint in the dictionary is being rewritten, and her picture would bear the spot next to the word restraint in the dictionary. Well,
Yes.
I since switched that to Chris Rock, but
all right.
But yeah, women are resilient. They are, if a woman has in her mind to get something done, it's gonna get done. And I say that because that's kind of the characteristics that I have. I'm gonna get it done. And so um, you know, that's just how we operate. That's how most strong women operate. They have a goal and they are resilient, and we get things done.
And I can't agree. I can't agree more. So shout out to Ruth Leonard, who is our lead administrative core of CSRN. You might see myself and Jody here on the podcast, but we love Ruth. She don't tell us what to do, but we got to do what she say.
I knew you had a woman at the table when y'all set this up.
That's man.
Before you say something else, I want to ask a question myself.
Beautiful.
Because this is the spring of everybody coming out, let's put it that way, and fundraisers and block parties and festivals and everything coming back. Does the NAACP have anything planned in the near future?
I'm so glad you asked. Because first, we have a partnership with the Toledo Lucas County Public Library, and we are going to be co-sponsoring the Juneteenth weekend. I say weekend because our event is going to be held on Saturday, June 18th at 9 a.m. At the main library. Of course, because the library is closed on Sunday, our event is going to be held on Saturday. That's one thing. And please do not forget about our 107th Freedom Fund banquet that is coming up in October of 2022. And that is going to be in person. And so those are our major things that are going on. And of course, you'll see us partnering in a number of events all across the community.
Now, I do have one more question too. So as we went to podcasts, I remember right around the beginning, you were doing monthly podcasts. What is going on with anybody that wants to reach out? Are you getting ready to do in public meetings or?
So we are doing our executive committee meetings are done via Zoom, obviously, and then our general membership meetings are actually live on our Facebook page every second Tuesday. Now, we as part of the communications team, we have to do a better job in getting people to get on to the live to participate in the meeting. Right now, we probably have on the average about 15 to 20 people that, with the analytics from the live, that actually look at the live. Now, there are a number of people that look at the membership meeting after, not live. And so we're trying to, just like you guys are doing, and you guys are doing an awesome job with this podcast, I must say. We're trying to find ways to engage. We're going to be going back to in person though. So um, hopefully it won't be an issue. But even going back to in person, we still want to develop the ways for people to attend the meetings virtually because it's been a paradigm shift, y'all.
Yeah,
Ain't
That's right.
nobody going back to what it was. It's just not gonna go back. And
gas
so
is high.
we have to plan for people that is they just not coming back. They
That's
not
right.
coming back to church. They ain't coming to no
That's right.
NAACP meeting.
That's
They're not
right.
coming anywhere. And as far as that goes, with the gas I done saved with Zoom board meetings, I don't think I'm coming back either to some of these meetings that I was driving, across town for an hour.
That's
So we
right.
have to, with this paradigm shift that the pandemic caused, we get one of these every 10 years. The last one we had was September 11th.
That's
That was
right.
a whole paradigm shift. You remember when you used to could take your loved one to the airport and walk on
Yeah.
in and
Well,
mosey in and watch
mhm.
your flight take off?
That's
That
right.
was that was a paradigm shift. Now the pandemic caused another shift, and we have to shift. If you don't shift with it, um, you know,
You left behind.
you left behind.
You
So
locked up.
we're
Right.
constantly trying to come up ways to engage our membership. The commercial that was on those that are interested in becoming a member of the NAACP, get on our Facebook page. There's a link to our website. It's really easy to join. You can do it electronically, or you can download the form and send it in to the post office boxes on the bottom of the form. So, yeah, we welcome membership and we welcome the interaction of people. I miss them pizza at the meeting
That's
and
right. I
food,
think
and I miss
that's why
all of
we
that.
came. I think that's why we came.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
think it's
right.
also
So
easier
yeah,
in that setting to plan stuff out because you can look a person in their eyes versus
Yeah.
they can just be somewhere else off the screen with that little still.
Yep.
Like, but you was at that was my
you
cat.
can.
The cat took bad notes now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do on these platforms, but yeah, certainly that's one of our goals is to continue to engage our members and those that are potential members by having events, by having opportunities for people to be able to voice their concerns about issues that they are concerned about.
Well, I know one of the things that now what we have to do, Jody, is make sure that we like the NAACP page
We do.
and then make sure that we post some of the events.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do our part to make sure that information is shared. And we know that the algorithm of Facebook may
Yes,
make you believe that nobody's watching your stuff. So we can't
Unless you're me.
depend, right? We can't depend on Facebook to share it. We're gonna have to share our own things and
that's
share each
right.
other.
On stuff, let our own people. I mean, it's I don't know. The world is interesting for me. I've cut my groups down to about 300-400, and there's 17 pages now, but that's why I mainly get my analytics. So even if you have a normal person page, I
Right.
call it that, they are beginning to change the analytics on that too. So yeah, there's always somebody watching. I just crossed 600,000 people on Google.
Okay.
I don't know none of them, but they know us.
All
So,
right. All right. Anita, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And we like to have her back.
yeah, I mean, you
So
guys again, if any
right.
tips and tricks, if you guys want to come over, have more than one member and stuff, talk about initiatives or stuff, that's what we're here for. Because, like you said, it's a paradigm shift.
Right.
I'm not sure how the street protest is going to work after what 2020 was.
We may have to have a Zoom protest.
Okay. There's been a few. There's been a few.
All of y'all show up on our page. All right. And then after that, here's what we're going to do. All right. So, yeah, everything's got to change, but we're still going to be active. If the
Right.
if in the streets mean that we're communicating, all right, I'm good with that. If it means that there may be some places that we may have to show up, I'm fine with that too. But this is a new
Right.
day. All right.
New day.
All right. Thank you, Anita. And we look forward to seeing you again.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Washington. And thank you so much, Jody. And
Hope
you
to
guys
see
are
you this
doing an awesome
Saturday.
job. Huh?
Hope to see you this Saturday at the Urban Holistics Minority Health Month event.
Yes, I'm supposed to be there. Erica White is probably gonna drag me there, but yeah, hope to
New
hope to
location,
be,
Field House.
hope to where is that at?
We're at the Field House now. Shameless
Oh
plug.
yeah, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Let's
it's
get it
weather.
in.
That's right. At my alma mater.
Yep, Scott.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
I'm
What?
But we used to beat up on them.
Oh.
Never mind.
You what? You didn't know?
No, I had
You
no
ain't know I
idea.
was a bulldog?
I thought they shipped you in from out of state.
Oh, come on, Brother
Yeah,
Washington.
man.
Born and raised.
Oh, man. How
Born
about
and
that?
raised. Born and
Okay.
raised in the heart of the central city, 900 block of Pinewood.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't
Born and raised.
I don't think I drive up down that street now. All right, man. Okay. All right. All right. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I still live over there too.
all right, man. So, family, for those that are watching this podcast or may stream it later on, family, we just don't know how invested our servants are in the community that they live right here, and there's no more right here than Pinewood. All right, okay.
That's right.
Shout out to Pinewood, just in case y'all.
Shout out to
All right.
Pinewood. My
All right,
church
just
is
in
on
case.
my church is on Pinewood and Heston.
Okay, which church?
People's Missionary Baptist Church. Elder Michael Key is my brother and my pastor.
Okay, all right, Pastor
Yes.
Key. All right,
Yes.
shout out to Pastor Key. He has some of the most dynamic congregants that not only pray in the house, but also get it in out here in our community too.
That's right.
And that's a beautiful ministry that supports that, because every
Yes.
ministry does not support us going out in the community. Some of our ministries just like to keep us
Quiet
and locked in. All right.
You guys are aware of our prayer park. I know I'm representing the NAACP, but the NAACP is a partner with our prayer park. It's on the corner of Indiana and Heston. That is People's Missionary Baptist Church. That's the prayer park. That is a community prayer park for people who don't want to come into the sanctuary.
Okay. Now
They
I have
can
a
go
question.
there and pray.
I had no idea.
Now I have a
Come
question.
on down there and check it out.
I know not
In
everybody's
fact, on Earth Day weekend, we'll be pulling weeds. So if y'all want to do some work, y'all can come down there to the prayer park, Indiana Heston.
All right. Okay, yeah, you can count on me for that.
So now I do have a question. I know not everybody's technology and stuff. If you can't do it now, if you could go back to the live video on Facebook and just leave as much information in there as you want, we'd appreciate that very much.
If I do what? I'm sorry, you froze up a little bit.
If you could leave as much information in the chat group.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you. We're going to take a short break, Jody.
Yep.
We're going to come back. Thank you, Anita. This is
You're welcome, Brother Washington.
This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient, and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, shout out to our brother Keith Cook and Bike Rides Matter. They're going to be starting, I think, maybe next Saturday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, because this Saturday, I think I saw that there was like a delay because, again,
hey, it's cold.
It's cold. We moving our urban holistics
right
minority month thing. So hopefully next Saturday they'll be out there lighting up the streets.
All right. Yep. And I'm powering up all my lights on my bike. Hey, listen, this is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We are back. We want to thank our sister, Anita Madison, with the NAACP to come in, check in for National Women's Month. We learned so much about our sister that she stayed right next to where Georgia stayed on Pinewood. All right, man. All right, Georgia, we didn't know you from that part. All right. Okay. All right. I see you. All right.
She was a police officer, so
right.
She tough.
Right. Absolutely. You know what? Speaking of tough, I want to talk about our brother Chris Roxjaw.
Good segue.
Right.
Did you say Chris Boxing Jaw?
No, Chris Roxjaw. All right. I guess it's a boxing jaw now. Hey, listen, that was that last night or the night before?
That was
Sunday. Okay, Sunday. Right. So Monday, I wake up for work. So just in case anybody from my job is watching this, Monday morning, I wake up early for work, getting ready to start my day. And I see, if I want to know what's happening in the news, family, I just log into Facebook. All right, that's what I do. Look,
all the socials you can need.
Right. If you want to see what's on the news before it's on the news. Hey, so I saw that and immediately I'm thinking, Jody, not this again. I don't even want to check it out. So, I couldn't resist.
I thought it was an SNL skit the first 3 times.
Okay.
It was just so short clips coming out.
Right. Right. And then I ended up watching, what could be the full clip. And we were talking about it around the water cooler on the job today, and I gave my thoughts on it. And everybody can have their thoughts. I use what's called I statements, meaning that the way I see things is based on how I grew up, all right, and how I process things. So you and I could look at the same thing
and see completely different things,
and it's all good. All right, it's all good. So my first thought on this, and I'll make it short because we really want to get into what we have is our 5 minutes of heat. We're gonna do a
times 2.
Right, times 2. All right, so you get a extra treat tonight. But my 3, maybe my 3 of my looks at this. First is embarrassment that some 2 men my age, all right, would do that in that scene. All right. I just think for me, it's just embarrassing for myself and Pastor Key. All right. Here we are at the NAAC meeting, and we decide to just embarrass ourselves and everyone else. So that was my first take on it, because definitely this is something that we could have easily have talked about later. All right. It didn't rise to that for me. So that was an embarrassment for men. Number 2, the way that I saw this was it's also an embarrassment on Sister Jada that you would even allow him to get up and do that. I've been places with Yvette, and she is the shutdown queen. Washington, sit down. Don't you dare, don't you embarrass us. All right. So that didn't happen. In my last observation of this, I'm going to just say this observation, that is a great chance that this is another distraction given to us. I'm a firm believer that most everything that we see on television today is scripted from beginning to end, and it's vetted, and it's planned. So whatever the plan is to generate some type of reaction from that thing that had just happened, I have no idea. But I'm not willing to invest my time, my energy, and emotions in the fact that 2 multimillionaires who don't even breathe the same air as we do have an issue. All right. So I'm not going to put myself in that whatsoever. So I do want to say this, Jody, right now. Let me see if we've got our brother Omar.
For approved attorney call.
It's calling in, so I'm gonna have to. We're being preempted right now.
Hey, it's okay.
All right, so let's see if we can.
There's no 10-second delay on it.
Customer assistance, billing inquiries.
Yeah.
To block future calls, dial 1-877.
So we got our brother Omar from calling from Colorado.
This call, press 5 now.
Let's see him.
This call, hang up. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Brother Omar.
Yes, sir.
All right, how you feeling?
I'm good, my brother.
All right. Hey, listen, let me see if we get a sound check. Let's see.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, great. Hey, listen, family, this is a first that we've been able to have not only our brother call from Colorado Correctional Institution, but also we've got him patched right through the Bluetooth. All right, so that's what's up. So this is our brother Omar Gent. He's currently incarcerated, and he helps us in the way of planning, not only letting the public know what's happening in the belly of the beast, but also he gives us some inspiration so that we can keep going. So, Brother Omar, we are engaged in National Women's Month. We had on our podcast earlier our sister Anita Madison, who's with the NAACP. former sergeant with the Toledo Police Department. And as of right now, she's taken all of her skill set that she learned over the years and given back to the community. So it's been awesome to have her on. However, we have you. So, and we've got a few new viewers this week. So if you could, brother, if you don't mind, could you introduce yourself, who you are, and also, brother, what is it that keeps you in the fight for justice? What is it that keeps you in the fight for equality, for freedom? So how would you process that question, brother?
First and foremost, thank you and your team and for inviting me on and keeping this going. My name is Omar Jensen. Those who don't know, I'm a young brother fighting this unjust system of illegal mass incarceration, as explained by my website, freeourbrothers.com. That's freeourbrothers.com, and Instagram at freeourbrothers. What that does is exposes the railroading of, first and foremost, black people, black men and women, young teens, the impact it has on us in Colorado. But it's not just a local thing. It's about people from different states, different countries, all being impacted and affected. So it's my job it's my duty to bring this forward to you, the people. Basically, I'm just an activist. I'm a freedom fighter. What keeps me going is and this being Women's History Month. I mean, it's special to me, because I do believe in that we have to always give honor and respect to our woman. But my mother, unfortunately, she's no longer with me, but she always put that strength and that determination in me to never give up, to keep my eyes on the Creator, keep going and staying strong no matter what. So that's a lot why I'm so strong and why I'm so determined, because of her sacrifice and her love. I hope to answer your questions, my brother.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, we are on the site freeourbrothers.com. And right now, what we have on the site is, let's make sure we've got the campaign to stop modern day slavery in Colorado, demanding equal rights to the underrepresented. Now, what does that mean to you to campaign for those who are underrepresented? How does that happen? What do you do, and how do you let people know?
Man, that's a good question. It's a key question. I'm teaching myself every day, to be honest with you, because, I'm in a state where there really is a lack of unity amongst the community in prison, and it seems to be outside of prison as well. When you reach out to these organizations and these groups, the black groups out here, they don't respond or seem to be motivated enough or have the courage to stand against the overwhelming presence of just the white community, and they can't stand up against it. So I just made it my mission to the website was created because I cannot get the courts to honor my inalienable right to be immediately discharged, because it's bigger than Omar Gent and black males. It's about women, it's about children, gay people, straight people, Christian, Jews. And so they don't want this, anybody basically that's unlawfully incarcerated. So my thing was to make it visible through freeourbrothers.com and reach out to platforms like this and other people to publicize what's going on, and hopefully get the people to join with my Instagram at Free Our Brothers, and to back my moves and the post that I put up to bring this out to the world, so I can have the power to demand my rights and open the doors for others.
All right, now, the people that are viewing the podcast are looking at the part of your website that says "Stop Illegal Imprisonment in Colorado." If someone says, "I don't even think that there's illegal imprisonment in Colorado," what would you say to that for people that say, "What? I don't know anything about this. How is illegal imprisonment happening in Colorado?" If you don't mind processing that with us.
Yes, sir. By no means do I claim to be not to offend anybody who is. Do I claim to be patriotic? But I do know that it's something called the U.S. Constitution and the state constitution and the Bill of Rights. And under this so-called democracy, you have certain rights that the state can't take away. And because the Constitution is a social contract, and in this state, it says in order for you to be lawfully convicted, tried, or imprisoned for a felony, it needs to be through the grand jury system that's explained by my website, freeourbrothers.com. But in order to save time, because they don't want to impound on a grand jury or resources, it costs money, to keep grand juries going. I'm not saying that they answer, but what they're doing is going around it, and they're charging people without bringing the felony charges to the grand jury to certify probable cause, to certify that the prosecutor can move forward. So you have these prosecutors acting on their own accord and deciding who goes to prison and who they're going to charge. But I'm pretty sure you all are aware of Elijah McCain. Unfortunately, that young brother lost his life in Aurora, Colorado, killed by 5 government officials. I think 3 were police and 2 were EMTs.
Right.
And the felony indictment came down, and all 5 of them got indicted, for their crimes against this young. My heart goes out. I'm getting kind of emotional just thinking about that. That gentle soul, that boy, the young man, his life was taken away unjustly, and he gave his life, in my eyes, for this cause to help me shine the light of what's going on. Because these 5 government officials, they get their rights, and then they were indicted, but everybody else don't get it. Omar don't get it. Other people don't get theirs. So what makes them more better than me, more deserving in due process, the most basic fundamental rights than me?
And right now, as you're speaking, we have some of our supporters that are really cheering you on to keep the fight, brothers. So the work that you do definitely has an impact, not only on me as one of your brothers and all of us at CSRN, but also you having a tremendous impact on the public too, because this is the only way that they're going to know what happens there. And we talk about in our principle of those directly affected should be telling their stories directly. So they're hearing you. They're not hearing me as the go-between. They're hearing you. So I want to thank you once again, brother, for being able to stay strong. I thank CSRN for being able to be bold enough every week to have you call in. And those who, may not like it, they can always pull up. All right. At any time. We're really not hard to find. All right. I just wanted to get that out. So thank you, everyone that's supporting this, brother. I wanted to ask you about your Instagram. And at one point, I may have to find a way to pull that up on the screen, because right now we've got the website where we talk about your campaign objectives. And if you're watching this or if you're streaming this later, check out that website, freeourbrothers.com. How do we, for those who may not be on Facebook, or I don't know how you could not be on the internet and only on Instagram, but I'm sure that exists. How do we reach you on Instagram?
Instagram at Free Our Brothers. Then I also have Facebook / Free Our Brothers. Instagram at Free Our Brothers and Facebook / Free Our Brothers. And on the Instagram page, there's a video called Are We Citizens, Yes or No? And my fiance is reading that to the people tagged in the video. The wonderful sister, Leslie Harrod, she's the chair of the Legislative Black Caucus out here in Colorado.
Right.
The video is directed to her and other people as well. And we're trying to get her to respond to the letters. And I need to tell people to help give this sister the courage to at least respond to the letters that I wrote her 7.5 months ago, letting her know I was unlawfully incarcerated. She informed us that she got the letters. But I understand the sister's situation, as far as being a politician in this state. And I can imagine that it's hard to stand up for what's right. So I'm asking the people to please go to the video on Instagram at Free Our Brothers, RE Citizens. Answer what's tagged in the video. We ask you to forward it to Leslie Harrod and other people. And if you can, please call 303-866-2959 and ask Representative Leslie Harris if she would, respond to Omar Gent's Instagram video and his letter. Because the good sister in closing, last year she made nationwide news. I'm not trying to pick on her, I'm trying to tell you guys the truth, you all the truth, that she was on the legislative floor and a Caucasian colleague of her called her a buckwheat, right. Boy, everything, buckwheat, waking up every day, held unlawfully, and so many other people. Please have at least conversation with us. So she hasn't been able to respond. So we need the people out there to please help this wonderful sister answer the call. Please encourage her.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, can you repeat that phone number again? And hopefully my skills are going to get better. That as you say the phone number, I'll be able to put it in the chat so that whoever.
I don't mind. It's 303.
That's
303 866 2959. 303 866 2959. And that's Instagram at Free Our Brothers, Facebook /Free Our Brothers. There's another Facebook that is Free Our Brothers with Omar Gent, but please don't go to that one. Unfortunately, I learned a lesson in activism. Sometimes you got to be careful who you allow access to your pages. So that page hijacked Omar Gent. That's no longer my page. It's Facebook /Free Our Brothers. Facebook /Free Our Brothers. Instagram at Free Our Brothers.
And if you've done this work, that's one of the things that happen. Yeah. When we decide to partner up with our fellow comrades, we have no idea. Sometimes we have no idea who we're partnering with. But faith is a part of our work, and when we have those missteps, those are our lessons. And a lot of us, and I'm thankful for all of my lessons, however they come. All right. And from there, we decide to move different. So, yes, that page was hijacked, but that doesn't stop you from doing what you got to do. We keep it moving. Right. We keep it moving. They can have they can have that page. Matter of fact, that page belongs to Facebook anyway. All right. You can have it.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
You can have it, but I'm and we're going to keep on having our brother on. So it's National Women's Month. And if it's the will of the universe, there's something that we should have read today, but however, we don't have it here with us. What are your thoughts, brother, on National Women's Month as we close out? And how important is the Black woman to this struggle?
Oh man, she's second self of God. She's a mother of the nation, and she's very essential. We must protect and make sure that she's always honored. And like I told my fiance, even if I could give my life to protect her, it wouldn't even cross my mind, to make that ultimate sacrifice, because I understand the love and all the things she showered me with, just to be here for so long, with these circumstances. And, I just owe so much appreciation and love and respect to her. And, so many Black women, it's the Black woman herself. She's just wonderful beyond words. I can't even just describe it.
Yes,
the letter that I wrote was just basically letting the sisters know that, your work may not be recognized by so many other people, but I want you to know that the brothers who are conscious, and other people of other races as well, but, first and foremost, as a Black man, I want you to know that your work is essential. We need you in this struggle. Thank you for bearing with all the things you bear with, sometimes even when it's coming from us, and being patient and just not giving up. And nothing that you do is not what's the word? Not important, not
Teach.
critical. Everything you do, no matter how small you may feel, it contributes to this massive movement. So thank you for your sacrifices, in spite of all the challenges and the various put upon. State of war and across the world, a woman, an army of women is more powerful than an army of tanks. And I say that because tanks bring destruction, pain, misery, but an army of powerful black women, an army of women moving, with unified goal and purpose is more powerful than weapons of destruction, because you're able to start a revolution, build a nation, and keep things going in a powerful way.
Well, brother, I want to thank you once again for having you on this week, brother. And that's our brother Omar Gent. Check out his webpage, Free Our Brothers. Check him out on Instagram. And that phone number, that 303 phone number again, what was it, brother? So that we can be more involved.
Yes, it's 303 866 2959. 303 866 2959. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, brother. We look forward to seeing you and hearing from you next week, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, salute.
All right, that's our brother. So, that's our brother Omar Gent calling in from Colorado. Now, time is of the essence. Mm-hmm. All right. We are moving past our regular time. Mm-hmm. I've already gave my breakdown of what I think about that. What are your thoughts? And if you don't mind, if you could hit us with the first half of the 5 minutes of heat.
Okay. So, again, the first time I saw it, I had just got off stage. I went to somebody's baby shower that I got invited to, and I performed one of the pieces that I'm doing tonight. I think I did the one I did last week as well, How to Find Happiness. Right. And I'm looking at it, and at this point, it was live. It was going on. And I don't actually sleep much, but probably about say 5:30. I got to see some of the behind the scenes. So for those of you that was watching the beginning, I'm an actor too. I do stage plays and all that kinds of stuff. And I've actually watched both of these men as I was growing up.
All right.
And a lot of scenes that I've done, punch scenes and stuff like that. But I guess really looking at it from just the aspect of, you made us look bad. Like there's nothing Will can say, the Academy can say, because it wasn't staged. I can say everybody's like, he took it as it was staged. It was an actor, what they would look like in a fight. I mean, we really don't see them fight in real life anyway. So they've been in all these kind of action movies and stuff and everything like that. And I think the moment he caught eye contact with him, because you could hear the laugh and you was probably thinking like, nah. But the moment he caught eye contact with him, the words that were said during and after, you can tell they were doing this to make sure that they have a next year to come back to. This is going to be the most talked about Oscars ever. I didn't even know what was going on because I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube and social medias. But the reasoning behind it, and I guess why it happened, you could see in the world. People is not so much as everybody's got mental health and you need to get, what happens when it's right there?
Okay.
What happens when mental health is right in front of your face and everybody else around you is just going to stare and keep rolling. There was no, had this been any other comedian, actor, fair-skinned person, we would have got a 30-second. No, they forced him. He looked over at the camera. You can see, actor, still professional. Like, are we gonna go to? No, you're gonna make me do this song and dance, and that's what's been feeding everybody. And I get it.
All right.
Alopecia, what he's been through with entanglements,
Okay.
what all that stuff, but it doesn't give you. You're somebody's hero.
All right.
In the end, whether it was staged, whether it was not, you're somebody's hero. Now their hero is saying that I have the right to put hands on somebody because of how I feel. You never have the right. I worked as a bouncer. I worked as private security. That is the one rule you don't do. You don't touch nobody.
Okay.
You can say yell, scream, all you wanted to me. The moment you put your hands on me, the moment you cross the line.
All right.
And he did that. So, yeah, I feel like slapping a whole bunch of people a lot of times, different points of day, depending on what career hat I'm wearing. But I don't, because I know that some little kid, especially with everybody with cameras and stuff, is going to look at that and take that how their life is. Not necessarily what happens at the end of the day where he gets his award. I'm pretty sure they're booking him shows right now. The Everybody Hates Chris meme is back up in the world. We got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back up in the world. So they got some movie deals and all of that stuff coming.
True that.
We're the ones that's looking at this and going to react according to our lives and going to try and justify it.
Facts.
That is the problem with the world right now. Trying to justify your actions based on somebody else's that you have no control of their life, especially an actor, especially a celebrity, like you said, who's going to make millions of dollars off of this. They probably already have.
Hey, all right.
So for us everyday people that have to go to work, that can't do that if we go to our job. We might feel like it, but then you don't have a house, you don't have a bill, you don't have your children even possibility, because of the way the world is. So I think I agree with how he felt, but not how he acted.
All right.
And for Chris Rock, I understand. Like, I just looked at that man. It's not so much his composure, it's also, what was he gonna do? Was he just gonna stop the show and just start drop kicking Will? Nah. I'm pretty sure his legal team and stuff is gonna deal with it and all that. But yeah, the slap heard around the world.
All right.
It may not get as big as entanglements, but it definitely stopped us from focusing on it. The war, if the invisible virus is around, it's about to be spring. Kids are about to be out of school. Programs are going on. We still don't know if we're voting on what exactly in all of this stuff. So,
yep.
Yeah, a big distraction, because their life is not yours and you cannot live your life by theirs.
All right. Now, all right. Well, that segues, and I wouldn't call it a distraction, but I would say it's a detour. Everyone's used to seeing either myself, Ruth, Julie, and Jody every week. However, next week, we're not going to have you.
Yep.
But we may have you the week after. Family, this ain't Michael Strahan. He ain't going anywhere.
I have
going
no idea what that reference is.
All right. Well, I think they do. But he's not going anywhere. Nobody's picked him up for another year with anyone else. I hope not. So we normally close out with 5 minutes each. But since he's not going to be here next week, we kind of wanted a double dose. So if you can give us the first dose of 5 minutes of heat, we're going to take a quick commercial. Then we're going to come back and tie up some loose ends.
Tie up some loose ends. Talk about what's going on in the city while we can, and then the crescendo piece.
All right, let's go.
So this one is because it's, again, mental health. Some things you say may not affect you. You may think of them as like, oh, that's just funny. But to another person, that's a derogatory word. There's a term that goes around, and it could be good or bad. I just take it more in the good side. It's the
Okay.
word called weird. You got a lot of people saying, instead of saying a more negative word, they're trying to take the word weird, which is like so many things, and turn it into creepy.
Okay.
Or weirdo or something like that. So some stuff happened, and I'm a writer, and we just love creating words out of things. So this piece is called Enjoying Being Weird. And to all my weird people out there, I love you. I hope you understand this piece. To all the people who use it as, well, let's just begin peace.
That's right.
People who use the term weird as a derogatory term have issues. Weird is unique. Weird is special. Weird is unconforming. Weird hasn't stopped dreaming and settled to be normal. Weird is beautiful. Weird is creative. Weird learned to adapt to its traumas and find beauty. Weird doesn't want to be around normal people. Weird is awesome. Weird is knowing that only certain people can be a part of your tribe. Is what makes the world function. Weird is uncageable. Weird has no boundaries. Weird has no limits. Weird gave up everything for themselves. Weird doesn't need validation. Weird could go anywhere by themselves. Weird shows up just when you least expect it. Weird is fearless. Weird doesn't want to be around you. Weird doesn't need a classification to exist. Weird doesn't need your approval. Weird is happy. Weird wakes up every day knowing normal people are scared of them. Weird is not embarrassed to be itself. Weird has a lifetime of failures that it makes look easy. Weird has nothing to lose. Weird will teach your normal lessons on how to be comfortable with itself. Weird doesn't fold under pressure. Weird has a scepter, crown, cape, and is riding a giant unicorn with flaming wings in the middle of a business meeting. Weird will take you to the most unique places no one else can find. Weird will make the most delicious meal without having to look up instructions or read the box. Weird will look at you, call them that in a derogatory way, and smile. Weird is not judging you for being normal. Weird will give you their last because they know it will make you smile. Weird has had his heart broken so many times by people wanting it to be normal. Weird still knows how to laugh at the things people ridicule them for. Weird gets stronger when you let them know that you don't want them around. Weird is comfortable being itself. Weird will stay stuck in the back of your mind. Weird will always have a piece of your heart. Weird is that vibration your soul makes when it sings. Weird is like tasting something for the first time. Weird will always be needed. Weird loves you. Weird is not normal. It's just something else. Stop calling people weird as a derogatory term because your normal looks like stress. In peace.
All right. All right, family. You don't get this often. Hey, Jody, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back, top some loose ends, and get right into 5 Minutes of Heat.
Yep.
2.0. So hang tough. This is CSRN, our weekly video minutes and podcast. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
We are back. That was kind of a hard transition right there from not having anything to having anything. Nope. This is the CSRN Weekly Video Minutes. We are back. This is, going into our second 5 minutes of heat and also going into what we do in the community. What we wanted to do today is kind of share some of the things that others are doing in the community to make our community a safe and decent place to live. Trying to get that up on the screen right now. We had good help, all right, that'll do the right thing.
Yeah. But just to let you know, while our interns are trying to find the right file for everything, community is the first thing in our name because that's what we're a part of. We're not just some out-of-towners or some paid petitioners or somebody that saw something on TV and wanted to drive across town because they thought they could do, or drive across the country because they thought they could do something. We live here.
Right.
The actions that we take on a daily basis affect here.
Right.
The things we stay silent about on a daily basis affect here. So as this is not the season of protesting and die-ins and stuff like that, we fall on our foundation, which is our community. So if you've noticed, we've been a little bit more active trying to find other creators and grassroots organizations that have events going on. So lately.
All right. So let's scroll down our page. And family, this is our Facebook page.
Yep.
CSRN. You can go like the page and share it with others. Let's see.
Are you in the right? Okay.
Yeah, the first thing.
So Junction has something coming up. They have a Black-owned business list. And this is something that is always trying to go on. If I ever see one of these, if we see one of these, even if it's not everybody on the list, somebody got shared. As long as somebody got shared, Toledo's small, this area is small. So you may be like, oh yeah, my cousin and sister. And so that's in essence what it's for. So check that out. The Junction has a list of Black-owned entrepreneurs.
All right. And that's our give our update when we have our podcast, Urban Holistics.
So Urban Holistics, the about the last remaining pin, people, because I don't think nobody's actually noticed that. I'm not covered in pins no more.
All right.
But I have one pin left. That's Sonia Ramel, Urban Holistics, or Sonia Organics, a whole bunch of Sonias right there.
That's right.
This year, she's holding her 2-day event, which is for Minority Health Month. In case you did not know, April is Minority Health Month. So mental health, physical health, spiritual health, you need to get all those healths checked.
Right.
But this is an event that kind of combines all of those over 2 days. The first day is going to be doctors, and that's going to be at the Truth Art Gallery. I'm pretty sure you can get more information on that. I'll have the links again on our page. And the second day, moi is going to be performing with a whole bunch of local. Yep, this will be my third time doing it, because it's not just a button I wear, it's not just a post I make. I am physically there, feet on the ground. I would not disrespect somebody's existence by just placating them to get attention. A lot of people do that on social media. I'm not one of them.
All right.
But on the second, we have actually moved the location because we understand weather. Not everybody wants to be outside. We don't want nobody getting sick. This is an event for health. So we have moved it to the Field House at Scott on Collingwood. That is probably updated everywhere. So if you were planning on coming to Tatum Park, we are going to Scott now. So that is coming up on the 2nd. That is Saturday. That starts at noon. There's an event on Friday. You have to get tickets for it, but make sure you get tickets and support. There are a lot of sponsors on there. There's a lot of people doing good work behind the scenes that are too busy just to take photos every day.
All right. Next.
Scrolling down, we just had the Door Street Coalition. They're starting up their meetings and stuff.
All right. Oh, there's got some folks. Okay, all right. Some of this stuff with Sonya.
Have to get out of the
I got it. Okay, I'm looking at all your pictures. All right.
Well, this is all our pictures.
Okay.
Anytime you go on our page, we try and put as much stuff up. Those are the events right there, so you can click on them and join. We just had the speaking. What was that? The last one was for the Blue Lives conversation. Basically, a lot's going on in the community, and whether you're an artist, whether you're a performer, everybody is trying to kind of put their voice into it, which I think is good because it was
Right.
hushed a while ago. So
Right.
there's the Blue series going on. That one was, I believe, a documentary film screening because his screen
That's
is
right.
smaller than mine.
Okay.
So that's been going on. Check that out because I do believe there is some other stuff going on. Most of these people that are in the community doing stuff, we're always doing stuff.
That was us from last week. All right, we're going to keep it moving.
Yep.
All right.
But just rotating back, this weekend, the Junction Coalition, and you'll probably see it on our page as he's scrolling down, had their meeting. And I went to that in the morning.
Right.
Went to that in the morning, got to fill out some surveys, talk to people, take a tour of the house. It's very interesting because at the end, just before the Sons of Toledo, which is scrolling up now, which I'm in that film, I wrote the article for it and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I sat in a room and just looking at the few people in the room, between me and maybe about 5 others,
Yeah.
we were on 35 boards.
That was awesome.
It is awesome, but
That's
it's
awesome.
also what a lot of Toledo is. Like somebody had mentioned, we have a harbor, we have an airport, we have a railroad, we're connected between everybody, but between 10 people, there are 35 different boards.
That's awesome.
All of it is. I can say it's awesome, but it's also a little bit confusing because when I started doing this 7 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to find a person that can get me the key. Everybody's got keys. It's all the same doors in one little city. I'm hoping to maybe at some point take all those people with all those doors so we don't need a pro mafia. So we don't need a grant from the government because we're already the executive board members.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure that out. Again, mental health, people communicating. But
all right.
Yes, the Junction Coalition, the open house was beautiful. Shout out to everybody that came. Shout out to all the board members. I look forward to working with you in the future.
All right.
From there, we had the official movie premiere of Sons
Oh,
of
let me
Toledo.
get back to Sons of Toledo.
Yep.
Give me 1 second. Sorry about the.
We had the official movie premiere of Sons of Toledo at the Perry Style. It was beautiful. It was awesome. I've seen the film 3 times now, twice at Momentum. I haven't been able to catch the libraries, but I made sure to call out for this one.
Good looking.
Was able to take photos and stuff. You'll see them on my page soon, and you'll see them in the newspaper next week because I got asked to write the article and
all right.
a lot of stuff. But I love doing stuff because if you don't put your voice behind something you love, someone else will. So make sure to call and check out with Matt Foss and see if you can get a screening because they are doing screenings of this movie. If you wanted to bring it to your community center, your church, this is a Toledo movie with Toledo actors by us, for us. This is the true FUBU movie, put it that way.
All right.
Talking about systematic problems that we have in our own community with in the urban community. So that's just a little overview of what's going on. Again, I'm going to try and keep the page updated, or Brother Washington will, or Ruth will, or Julian will, to let you know what's going on in the community that doesn't involve you taking on any type of trauma.
All right. So where do we go from there?
Where do we go from here? So we mentioned Urban Holistics and that I'm performing there and that it's Mental Health Month and all of this stuff. So I got a phone call. And she was letting me know we had about a 5-10 minute conversation, and this is how a lot of my stuff is created. Now, I'll be performing this there. Hopefully, I'll have it memorized. And I haven't recorded it yet because I told her I thank her for this piece. I performed it, or I read it to somebody, and one of our state representatives wants to take me to speak to Congress this piece in D.C. So, again, Sonia, thank you for inspiring this piece. It's called Broken Clock. If there was a way to think of how to fix things poetically, this is what I would want to stay stuck in your head. So, 5 minutes of heat. Let's begin. Peace. Broken Clock. How much longer will we keep waiting for a handout to get a hand up? My grandmother's generation, the oldest one I can remember, spent her entire life, yes, her entire life, moving on up from the east side, trying to find the high rise, but the elevator was broken. Only specific folk could move into the express line and have all their dreams fulfilled. You know, the ones with the sought after skin, silky hair, and had a long history of oppression behind those contracted lives. People whose dream is to succeed, but only, yes, only off the backs of others. How much longer will we keep waiting for a handout to get a hand up? Our grandparents and great grandparents sacrificed everything, yes, everything for their plot of land, knowing how valuable it is to have something to call your own, that you can pass down to future generations. No matter what sacrifices they had to make, they were building for a better future. Now, no one owns nothing but debt and the shiny things they can buy to fill up the hole of owning nothing, but something that can be taken away if you don't get your last paycheck. How have we become so lost, accepting handouts from the very same people that see us as numbers and the calculatable item at the end of the year to raise the price of everything? You trust no one, but you trust them. The very same organizations, governments, political parties, nonprofits, and subsidies that keep your blocks broken until it's time for re-election or a new survey to come through to find out what plots have been given up on. We tear down everyone that tries to build for themselves by discounting them to death and asking for a handout from people who barely have all the gear they need to reach the top. How much longer will we keep waiting for a handout to get a hand up? You don't need to be led to know how to follow. But we've been conditioned to think that if we don't grab everything for ourselves, when they throw us the scraps back to us off the hard work, yes, the hard work we put in to build our communities, we're the ones that failed. How much longer are you willing to just survive and struggle, leaving generations with less and less of everything? Because we only give when we're told to, take at every opportunity and leave nothing but scorched earth. How many leaders have to die or be broken in community funded organizational startups or stomped to the ground by big organizations who see the block as another item they can control? With the subsidies that they lobby through PAC funds, defunding, and gerrymandering of districts for generations of traumatic loss for the youth. If you cared, you'd start gathering the resources that matter, the ones that they programmed you to believe only serve them. You'd start seeking out grassroots farmers, reaching out to people who don't need the attention of the spotlight because they're too busy doing the work. You'd start spending your own dollars, yes, your own dollars in your own community instead of trapping out the few resources your ancestors left you. My grandmother's generation was so focused on moving on up from the east side that they left their land, yes, their land for a high rise, creating a generational curse for my mother that I now have to break the chains of. How much longer will we keep waiting for a handout to get a hand up instead of building our communities ourselves? In peace. Thank you, Sonia.
Right, that's right, Sonia. Just for you, so we get a finger snap for that, brother. Great job, and can't wait to see you. This is a premiere, family.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time that, if I'm not mistaken, that this has been said in the way that it has, and I look forward to hearing that. You know, at the minority health events in our city. So one of the things that we do, family, in 5 minutes of heat, no better way to shut down a meeting or close out a meeting than creative expression, and we're going to continue that with our solidarity our solidarity pledge. And this is our contract with ourselves, because if we don't do it, and if we're no one will. All right, kind of falls in line with the what you just wrote. Okay, all right. I'm going to say I. You say I, and repeat after me. I. Your name.
Jody.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I. Your name.
J. Summers.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study.
To study.
To improve myself.
To improve myself.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Morally.
Morally.
And physically.
And physically.
For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people.
I.
Your
name.
Child of the system.
Yeah. Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
Your name.
Spoken truth.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To give all that I could spare.
To give all that I can spare.
Of my time.
Of my time.
My strength.
My strength.
And energy.
And energy.
To achieve.
To achieve.
The above said.
The above said.
And great job, brother. And great job for everybody that watched this live. And if you watch it again or stream it, make sure you share it. This is the CSRN, our weekly video minutes, our podcast. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yay, yay.
Peace.